In South Africa with the weather, but it was in London where the sun shone down on thousands of expats lining up to cast their votes. Many travelled from across Britain to be able to take part.
To make a difference in my country, because my vote counts also, so I want to make a difference.
Well, every vote counts, I guess, so I'm glad that they're making it possible for people overseas as well.
Voters were in good spirits, despite queuing for around 2 hours to reach the front.
The thousands turning up here say this is more than just an election. Many plan to return to South Africa in the years to come and hope their vote will create a better country.
The votes being cast here will be sealed and sent to South Africa in the next 24 hours. They'll then be counted on the 7th of May, alongside the votes cast in the country. Dan Whitehead, SABC News, London.
And in the US, a steady trickle of voters braved the torrential rain in Washington, D.C. The embassy said there were 340 registered voters in Washington and 600 in New York.
I think it's just important to do your bit for the country, because we celebrated 20 years of freedom, and this is part of our rights, it's part of our freedom, and you need to exercise it, because I feel like you can't complain about South Africa and what's happening in South Africa if you don't actually exercise your rights. So it was one of the important things for me to do. I flew all the way from Puerto Rico.
It was fantastic. I've waited 10 years for this.
10 years, so you've been outside of the country for 10 years?
For longer, but the last time we could vote was 94.
Why are you getting emotional?
It's just great, you know.
Voting began in New Zealand and the Netherlands last night. In Kenya, 156 South Africans are registered to vote, well below the number of those living there.
We're South Africans. We must stand together and support our country, even if we're not living in the country at the moment. We want to go back there.
It's about good governance and to protect the gains of the revolution.
Voting continues in Harare, where about 3/4 of eligible voters have already cast their votes.